convinced that everyone needs a digital product business in their life. Okay, and this is what I try selling digital products, and here's what actually works. So when people talk about digital products, firstly, right, they either exaggerate or they dismiss it completely. They're like, nah, it doesn't work, I didn't get any sales. But let me tell you what actually happened for me. No fluff, no fake screenshots, just what worked. Okay, but quick context before we carry on. 25 years ago, I write my first song as a songwriter. 15 years ago, I become a dad and I work in retail for $360 per month. Okay. 10 years ago, I start digital marketing and I build enough customers to leave my 9 to 5. Now, this year, I'm gladly celebrating my 10,000th customer, over 450K in digital profits, and 250 million views across all social media. Okay, so you're in the right place speaking to the right person. So let's jump right in. So, the first lesson that I learned when I tried selling digital products is the money hits different, right? Because it wasn't wages, it wasn't hours traded for money, it wasn't what I was usually used to. You know, growing up hearing people go to work, hearing people make money on the streets or the roadside, it was different, right? But this felt different because it was leverage and it was legit leverage. And once you experience leverage, your brain shifts. Okay, which leads me to my second point, which is here's what actually works. So I built a YouTube audience on YouTube, right? Not overnight. It took probably around, I don't know. So I started the page years ago, and like most people, I just had the page there. I wasn't posting any content. But once I decided to actually make content, I created a video one night when I was just sitting down at my in-laws' house, and within around 2 to 3 weeks, it went viral. This video started going viral. Now, not every video I posted went viral, but this specific one went viral, okay? But it wasn't overnight, it wasn't instant, it took a few weeks. And once that went viral, I started to create content around that one topic, okay? And the audience was music creators, okay? Because I come from a music background, it was for music creators. So this tool that I was selling them was specifically for music creators. So I started creating content around creating music right online, specifically using this tool. It was clear, it was focused, and then I simply linked it to one paid product, which was just $29. And that was the system. It was really simple. So I was on YouTube, I had my audience, and I had my paid product. It wasn't complicated. It wasn't no dramatic pitch. I wasn't selling them in the video. I was using the tool in the video. So it was like a tutorial. And I wasn't saying go and buy this and go and buy that and this is the excellent product you need and da 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 da. And it was still selling. All I was doing is because I was writing songs and making music and using this tool. It was my tool, and I just simply shared it with others and allowed people to download my tool that I had been using for years, right? And that's how I know that anyone can take what they're using right now, even if you think that if even if you don't think there's any value in it, trust me, there is. Okay, so there wasn't no complicated funnel, no webinars, no none of that stuff. It was just like do the video, 8 minute video, and if you want the full product, the link is in it down below. That was it. Okay, and the third thing that I realized was the more videos that I made, the more sales I was getting. Right, and this was really the breakthrough because for me, it wasn't mysterious. It wasn't like, oh, like how do I roll this out? How do I scale this? No, each video became a new entry point for a new customer to come in, right? And the more videos I made, the more sales I made. The baseline, there was always like a consistent of $100 to $200 per day consistently, even without getting viral videos. Right, I didn't need viral videos. Yeah, the first video went viral, and on that channel is still probably yeah no is it is still the highest. That channel is still the highest video count on on that channel. But I don't need every video to go viral. Okay, it's not about that. It's just when the content is getting stacked, it gets compounded. So you might start off with 5 videos, right? And then what happens is you might end up with 20 videos, and then you end up with 50 videos. And you got to remember, each of these 50, every single one of these 50 videos are acting as a salesperson, right? They act as a salesperson, constantly selling and demonstrating the product that you're using. Okay, so if you had a business, for example, picture this: you've got a bakery and you've got five salespeople selling your cakes every day in the market, or you've got 50 salespeople in the market selling your cupcakes every day. Which one is likely to get you more sales? Five salespeople or 50 salespeople? Obviously, the 50. So the more videos you make, the more salespeople it's essentially you have selling your product. And like I said, this is like where it's just super went click, 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 click for me. Because you got to remember, salespeople, videos, people, the videos don't need sleep, they don't need motivation, they don't need to take work days off. Videos can work 24/7 for you. The internet doesn't sleep, the internet doesn't shut off. Whereas if you hired salespeople, they can only work 9 to 6. They don't want to work weekends. They need sex. They need food. They need water. They need to bathe. They got family to take care of. They need to go on holiday leave for 30 days a year. They come with all of these terms and conditions. Content doesn't. Content can go to work for you 24/7, 365 days per year. Okay, so I wake up, someone's watched a video I posted 3 months ago, they click the video, they buy. I'm on holiday on the beach in Cyprus with my family, about to have lunch, burgers, chips, fries, Coke. You know, someone watches my video from 6 months ago, they click, they buy. I'm at my daughter's Christmas play in December. We're sitting down, the whole school is singing Christmas carols. All I want for Christmas is you. My phone goes off, bang. Someone's watched my video from 2 weeks ago. They click, they buy. So you've got all of these different videos circulating that you've made content for that are selling on your behalf, right? And that's not something to be sniffed at, because in 2026, knowing that we have these tools available, virtual sales agents selling our product is different, right? And I just put this here again just to reiterate that content works while you don't, right? Content don't need sex, it doesn't need sleep, it doesn't need food, it doesn't need a break, right? And this is the part that I think not a lot of people really speak about. They don't really go into depth how important that part is. It works when you're tired. It works when you're with your kids. It works when you're offline. It works when you're on holiday. It works when you're in meetings. It works when you can't be bothered to work. Now, I'm not saying you can afford to just take 4 years off, right? You're going to need to make content. But, we all get burnt out. We all get to a point where we're like, I'm tired. I need a few weeks off or a month off. You can do that. You can afford to do that when your content is working 24/7 for you. That's leverage. And that is why digital products feel powerful. The next point I want to get into is profits are better than wages. Now, Jim Rohn first taught me this. If you don't know of Jim Rohn, go and Google him, a fantastic business philosopher. He's no longer with us, but he's been one of my business coaches and mentors for the past 15 years. And he first exposed me to this phrase of profits is better than wages. Wages make you a living, but profits make you a fortune. Now, wages made me a living, and I grew up around people that made wages, but profits made me think bigger. Once I got a taste of how easy digital sales could feel, I stopped looking at money the same way, and I became addicted to this system because there's no other system out there like it. Wages you earn when you show up. Wages, we all know, you got a punch in a clock. You get money paid for hours worked. But with profits, especially digital profits, with a system like this, you earn when your system runs. You earn when your system is turned on. You earn when your system is effective. If you don't want to earn no more, you just switch your system off and it stops earning. But why would you switch your system off? You wouldn't switch your system off. Now, there comes times where maybe, you want to run a new system. You leave that system running and you run a new system. That difference is life changing. But ultimately, And here's my honest belief. I genuinely believe everyone needs a digital marketing business in their life. Not necessarily full time, don't have to be nothing extravagant, nothing flashy, but something in the background that's just building leverage for you and building an asset, building independence, you know? Because this system doesn't always get off the ground immediately. It can take maybe a few weeks, maybe a few months, never a few years. If this system takes years for you to get it off the ground, you're doing something severely wrong. Especially if you just follow the system of one platform, one audience, one product at $29. This can't fail you. Honestly, this system cannot fail you. Do you get what I'm saying? This system can't fail you. So once you understand how to package value digitally, you'll stop feeling trapped by time and start feeling free from options. 100%. You start feeling free by options, and not saying it's easy, not saying it's you're gonna, like I said, it's not gonna happen in one night. Might take a few weeks, but if someone said to you, okay, do this for a few weeks and this will build you a digital asset that can pay you for years to come, would you not do it? Of course. What, a couple of weeks it's gonna take? you know just let your efforts compound. Every video you put out, every blog you make, or whether you're making an audio podcast, whatever your channel is, whatever your platform is, you gotta work hard enough. You gotta work long enough for your efforts to compound. And now, I'm someone. My wife laughs at me. She says you got ADHD. She says I got ADHD. She says my attention is sometimes flickers, bam, 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 like shiny light syndrome, right? Shiny object syndrome. So I've found it difficult in the past, and I still do till today. I'm not perfect to focus, to really pick a lane and focus on it, because my biggest problem is, once upon a time, I couldn't see any opportunities. Like when I was younger in my teens, I couldn't see any opportunities, right? And now my biggest problem is I can see all the opportunities, and I struggle with not doing them all. I struggle because I want to do them all. I see an opportunity, I want to jump on it, I want to do it. But ultimately, you can't have like 20 things all going on at once. They're all going to suffer. You're better off just having a few things. So knuckle down, let your efforts compound, and then yeah, you'll never look at money the same way again. Guys, if you want to make your first 1K in 30 days, keep it simple. Like I said, my biggest thing here at Digital Assets Lab is just simplification. If I could just, if I had one mission, it would be to simplify everything. Because in marketing, you get told to be able to make your products sound great, right? To dress them up. And then what ends up happening as a byproduct of people dressing up their products and their services, they end up making things sound really complicated because they're trying to impress you. Okay? But I want to strip it all back and get rid of that and change and break the wheel. I just want to simplify everything, because simple funnels equals simple assets. And when when you simplified everything, everything becomes so much easier to do. So if you want to make your first 1K in 30 days, tap the link in my description for my free guide. If you got any questions or concerns, drop a comment below, give this video a like, subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.